All right, today we're talking about a pretty huge shift in the world of AI. It's a story that takes us from an AI that's just a tool, something that helps us get work done, to an AI that's more like a real partner, one that actually helps us discover new things. And at the center of all this is Anthropic's new Claude 4.5 suite. Trust me, it's a way bigger deal than you might think. So let's just dive right in. This quote from the one and only Andre Karpathy, it just hits home, right? The technology is evolving at a mind-blowing pace. It really feels like that. It's relentless, and if you're trying to just keep up, you're going to feel like you're constantly losing. But what if keeping up is the wrong goal entirely? Exactly. There's this developer, Sankalp, who put it perfectly. He says we should stop trying to keep up and start trying to augment ourselves. The goal isn't to run after every shiny new model. No, it's about using these incredible tools to make ourselves better at what we already do, to deepen our own expertise. Stay curious, let the AI handle the grunt work of implementation, and free ourselves up to focus on the human stuff like taste and judgment. Okay, so what is this new tool that's making all these waves? Let's get into the what. We're talking about the Claude 4.5 family from Anthropic. And yeah, I said family because it's not just one model, it's a whole suite, and each one is built for a different kind of job.
And right here, this is the key to the whole thing: specialization. Think of it like a team. You've got Opus 4.5. That's the brainiac, the super smart one you bring in for the really tough, complex problems. Then you have Sonnet 4.5, who's your star coder, an absolute wizard at building agents and systems. And finally, there's Haiku 4.5. This one is all about speed. It's blazing fast, perfect for real-time stuff, and it can even act as a little helper, like a sub-agent for the other two.
Now, underpinning all of this, the foundation that makes it all possible is a massive, and I mean massive, 200,000 token context window. So what does that mean? Well, think of it like the AI's working memory. It can hold about 150,000 words in its head at one time. That's a lot. But here's the thing. Having a giant memory is one thing. Knowing how to use it, well, that's where the magic really happens.
And that brings us to a really crucial idea: context engineering. It sounds kind of technical, but the concept is simple. It's the art of curating what the AI pays attention to. Imagine the AI has a limited attention budget. Every time it reads a file or uses a tool, that takes up some of that budget. So being a good context engineer, it's like being a great film director. You have to know exactly where to point the camera, what to focus on, to get the perfect shot.
Okay, so that's the what. We've got the models, we've got the context window. Now for the really important part, the so what. What does this all actually feel like for a developer in their day-to-day grind? To figure that out, let's jump back into Sankalp's story.
This timeline, it's basically a tech love story with a little bit of drama. You can see he had this real love-hate thing going on with Anthropic. He started with Claude, but got frustrated, switched over to OpenAI's Codex because he needed better performance. But then, boom, November 24th, Opus 4.5 drops. And he comes right back. He even calls it an Anthropic redemption arc. So the big question is, what changed?
And in his own words, it wasn't just about the raw power. Sure, it was faster and the coding was on par, but listen to these words he uses: super collaborative, good at communication, and my favorite, it had good vibes. It wasn't just a better tool, it felt like a better partner.
And you can kind of see that vibe right here. Look at the difference. On the left, you've got Claude, and it's much more conversational, right? It's talking with you. Then on the right, there's Codex, way more concise, almost robotic with all those nested bullets. Even the little things like the UI, Claude's is higher contrast, easier to read. It all adds up to a totally different feel. It's less about just spitting out an answer and more about having a real dialogue.
So let's really break down why it feels so good to use. First, that faster feedback loop, it just makes your progress feel, more visceral, more real. It's a much better communicator, a better pair programmer. It actually seems to get your intent better, so it's not ignoring your instructions. And this part is super cool. It can spawn sub-agents. So it might fire up a little Haiku model on the side to go find a file for you without ever losing its train of thought in your main conversation. It's just smart.
So that's the story from the trenches. A developer's daily life made better. A powerful example of AI as a partner. But the story doesn't end there. The impact goes so much bigger than that. So now let's raise the stakes. We're going to shift from improving workflows to doing something that has literally never been done before, making a brand new mathematical discovery. Okay, so the story starts with a researcher, Johannes Schmidt, and he goes to an AI with a novel question, a problem that wasn't in any textbook. He basically asked, hey, for this super specific, complex geometric calculation, what's the combination of inputs that's going to give me the absolute biggest answer possible? This was a total unknown.
And this is where things get wild. The AI didn't just start blindly crunching numbers. No, it formed a hypothesis. It took an intuitive leap and guessed, it conjectured that the answer would be balanced inputs, where all the numbers are as close to each other as possible. That's not calculation, that's a creative act.
But it wasn't just a lucky guess. The AI didn't stop there. What's incredible is that several different AI models then came up with this really elegant multi-step proof to back it up. They broke the problem down, applied a known but pretty sophisticated mathematical inequality to it, and then step by step, they showed that if you make any two numbers more equal, more balanced, the total value always goes up. They proved.
And here's the bottom line. The result was Theorem 1.2, a brand new, publishable theorem, a real, original contribution to mathematics. Think about that. The AI wasn't just a fancy calculator here. It was a co-author, a research partner.
Okay, this changes everything, right? We've seen AI as a day-to-day coding buddy that just makes our lives easier. And now we've seen it as a research partner that can make discoveries we couldn't. This elevates the whole conversation. It forces us to ask, what does this new, much deeper partnership mean for all of us and the future of our work?
And this quote from Sankalp again. It just cuts right to the heart of it. He says, there are already moments when I almost feel like a background agent. Think about that. As the AI starts to handle more and more of the heavy lifting, the main execution, our role naturally has to shift. It can feel like we're the ones becoming the background process. And that's the big provocative question for all of us, isn't it? Are we becoming the background agents to our own work? But maybe being a background agent isn't a bad thing. It's not passive. It's the role of the director, the strategist. It means that our most valuable skills are no longer about just doing the work, but about setting the vision, asking the right questions, and using our human taste and judgment to guide the incredible power of the AI. And look, this isn't just some philosophical debate. This is happening right now. The academic world is already grappling with this, creating new rules for this new era. You see these proposals for how to credit AI in research? This is about way more than just giving credit where it's due. It's about creating transparency. It's about building a new standard of accountability so that we can actually trust the amazing results that come from this new kind of human-AI partnership. But I want to leave you with Sankalp's final thought because it just nails the perfect balance of this new world. He also said, and then other times when I feel smart, when the models couldn't solve a particular bug. And that's it right there. This isn't a takeover, it's a partnership. Yeah, sometimes we're the director, the background agent, but there's still these critical moments where our messy, brilliant human insight is the only thing that can crack the code. Augmenting ourselves just means focusing more on that insight. So the real question isn't, will AI replace us? The real question is, how are we going to steer this incredible new partner to discover and build things we never ever could have on our own?